Welcome to a new episode of Business Meets Life. Today we have with us amazing Ming Han Lim from Melbourne, Australia. Hello, Ming. It was great to see you in Sydney last week. How have you been?
Yeah, thanks for the invite to this podcast. Yeah, been great. Thank you.
Amazing. So everybody might be asking, okay, who is Ming? Let me introduce him. So Ming Han Lim is a technology systems architect who helps businesses use AI and automation in a practical, results-driven way. He works with growing companies to streamline operations, reduce manual work, and improve efficiency without needing more staff. Who does not want that, right? So instead of just talking about technology, Ming focuses on real implementation, turning disconnected tools into simple, scalable systems that deliver measurable results in a short time. Now, Ming is speaking on stages and mingling with people all around the world. I actually just met him in Sydney, but last we met in Los Angeles, where he was hanging out backstage with Kris Jenner. Yes, that Kris Jenner from the Kardashians, with Charlie Sheen, Mario Lopez, the Hollywood actor, and many others. Now, let's talk business, Ming. Tell me a bit more. Most of your clients, they arrived thinking they have a tools problem. What actually happens in that first conversation when you have to tell them the truth?
Yeah, that's always an interesting question. Normally, when I look at what they do, they have a software for CRM, they have something for a large language model, and they have something on their operations, but they don't talk to each other. And it is costing them a lot of wastage, a lot of time wastage. And like one of them I just met 2 weeks ago. Uh, he had a VA, and the VA said that she's overworked. um,
Mm.
and he asked her to list down all the tasks that she does. And what I could pick up from there is she's taking 40 minutes just to process a confirmed order. So, you know, normally I look at the inefficiencies and I try to fix it. And sometimes they are lacking a tool or a integrated system, but sometimes there's always an easy fix.
Mm. Now, talking about the easy fix, and I love the examples that you are just sharing. Can you walk me through a real transformation you've engineered? The before, the after, and the actual numbers. What did that client's day look like before you came in, and what does it look like now?
Well, there's one client that I met last year, and he was showing me that he's got 20,000 unanswered messages on his WhatsApp, and he's got over 1,000 stuff. So I went over to see him earlier this year, and I looked at his operations. Then we started to implement an ERP system on. Well, he does facilities management, so um, what happens is he would get the staff to come in at 7 o'clock in the morning for a briefing, and then they will start to do their job. And when they encounter issues, they will contact him directly. So whether there's maintenance issues, cleaning issues, and whatnot. But we created a system for him where uh, the the staff just uses the a phone and logs into an app, and it logs in the timesheets automatically, and from that app the schedule for the day is automatically generated. So if your staff is absent, you don't need a supervisor to allocate the task um, to someone else, because a lot of them will be urgent, and they will go to a site to clean, and they will take before and after photos from the app, and it automatically populates the checklist by itself. Yeah, so it takes a lot of time away from the staff. There's a lot of savings, and a lot of automations going on there.
Wow, that's amazing. I think we probably, no matter what kind of business you have, many of us actually are having similar challenges. So good on you. Well done. You say welcome to our people who are watching here. Good to have you here. So you say some companies are doing things right now that will make them completely obsolete in 3 to 5 years. Without naming names, which industry is most at risk and why is nobody really talking about it?
Yeah, when I was in Sydney, I was in a limo, and the driver basically asked me, "What can he do? What can I do to make sure that people like him will still have a job?" And I don't know how to answer that question, because you will have driverless cars. If he's just driving a normal car, then he'll be out of business. And even for a premium service with a limo, apart from carrying luggage for the passenger, now there's no value add for him. And for someone
Yeah.
who's just driving and he doesn't even own the vehicle, it's not easy to keep the job. I think he will have to pivot to something else. Yeah, but
Actually, this is when we trainers come in, because we can
yeah,
help them to we can work with them on their soft skills, on their communication, people skills, because I guess these are some kind of jobs working with people that will still be needed though. And those soft skills might be even more important in the future. What do you think?
definitely. Anything that's repetitive, something that's predictable, can be done with AI. And yeah, definitely people with soft skills, people who are more creative and able to control the AI will be in demand.
Yes. To our audience, if you guys have any questions specifically for Ming, just drop it in the comments and I'll ask it for you. Okay, now, what would you say is the difference between a company that uses AI and a company that has actually become AI driven? How do you know which one you're looking at in the first 5 minutes?
It's the automation. So someone who uses AI, maybe they're just using a large language model and they think, oh, okay, I'm using AI and I'm fine. But that is basically like using a tool. You can ask a question and you get an answer back. But having a system that is AI driven is different, because the AI can initiate the jobs by themselves. They can wake up and they can do the task and finish it and pass it on to another agent, and they can sleep again.
Very well and fast answered. We got some comments here from YouTube. Great AI expert. We can definitely see your expertise in here. Let's go a little bit deeper. Can you please share with us like a specific implementation that maybe went completely wrong? I guess no one's perfect. I know you've worked on like a new system last year as well. Like maybe what did you promise? What actually happened? And what did that moment cost you, professionally or personally?
Well, I actually thought about this a fair bit, and I won't start a job unless I'm sure that I can deliver. And I'll do whatever it takes to make the project a success. So far, I haven't got any project that failed yet. Yeah, but yeah, I can't think of any scenario where I can't deliver. Basically, I think AI is that good right now.
That is impressive. Was there a version of you who almost gave up on this path? It could be the path of entrepreneurship or anything. What was happening in your life at that point and what made you stay?
Well, maybe I would say there's alternatives, and they became a distraction, because I grew up with computers. Even before I was 10, my dad was a distributor for IBM in Indonesia. So I grew up with
Oh,
the XT computer, 286, and so on. This is even before 1995 internet boom. So I was already playing with computers. and that got me interested in computers. And along the way, I sidetracked and I did other businesses. Also because my family was heavily in real estate, so I did go into property development. Then I started real estate agency and so on during the marketing, like internet marketing, social media boom. So I was just a consumer. But last year, the pivot was in where I am in Victoria, in Melbourne. The rental laws changed. There's a lot of changes in the political arena as well, and it made it a little bit less incentive to less profitable to do property development or agency. And then I decided to pivot to an AI agency because I thought that is the best use of my time. That's how I can impact the community better. And here I am. So I've still got a few more accounts in my portfolio to offload. And my project should complete by June or July, or yeah, probably by August this year, and then I'll be fully into AI.
Impressive. Thanks for sharing this personal path of yours. Now let's dig a little bit deeper, a little bit about your history as well. So your name, Ming Han Lim, carries a whole heritage with it. What was the journey from where you started to building a business in Melbourne? And what did the people closest to you think about the path you chose?
Well, no one really asked me about the path that I chose, but I chose the well. I've never been in a place more than 10 years to begin with, and I'm over 40 now. But each time I move, it's always strategic. It's always deliberate. And when I finished my studies, I studied software engineering and business management, masters of finance back in Brisbane. And after that, I moved to Melbourne. Then my grandfather asked me to help him with the business in Malaysia. So I went into property development, and just in a few months, I heard that the sales agent that we used was a con man. He was taking leads from our projects and selling other projects instead. So I asked my grandfather for a bit of capital. It was 20,000 ringgit, about 7,000 Australian or so. And I opened a new office, hired 5 people, and I started selling. And I did better than the previous agent. And since then, up to now, the company is still running, and we're still doing our own sales. After that, it was a family business, and I thought it was a bit uncomfortable, talking about business at dinner table as well. So I went on to another venture. My grandfather had some shares in a timber company, so I was doing logging and plantation for 1 year. It was a listed company, and when they first started, they didn't even have a website, but now they do, and they are compliant and turning a profit as well. Yeah. So and after that, I went to Brisbane again, did real estate, and I thought I was just going to retire. I was happy with where I was, but I started a real estate agency. So then I met my wife, so I moved to Melbourne, and then we got married about 10 years ago. And since then, I've changed the way the agency does things, and right now it was super efficient. For example, if I were to advertise property, I can get a tenant in within 1 day. So let's say if I advertise today, by tomorrow I would have a tenant, prospective tenant, agree to take up the place and sign the contract, pay the bond and rent, and I would have issued the keys within 2 hours.
Why
and I can.
so fast? Because you have a better system than the others, or because you're
Yes.
smarter or better connected?
Well, no one in the industry talked about this, but the average for an agency to fill a place is 14 days. In some suburbs, it's 21 days. But I've replicated this many times. I get a tenant in within 1 day because I know the tools that I use. For example, the portals that I use, I pay good money for it and I get good leads. And before the ad is up, I've already sent the listing to 400 or a few hundred other prospective tenants. And when it is live, I schedule between 5 to 9 inspections in a day. If no one signs up for it, then I cancel it. But if someone signs up, then I'll turn up, and I'll coach the prospective tenant on how to apply, because the application is important because it is used by insurance companies. And actually, up to today, I haven't had to use that path. I haven't been to a tribunal yet because I've had a good system and I manage a good relationship with the tenants, and none of them have been in a place where I need to evict them or I have issues with them. So it has been somewhat too comfortable, you know. But I thought, yeah, it's time to move on and find more challenges.
Yeah, I can see that. But at the same time, you're married. I think you seem like a quite good dad as well. You were just, can you share with us the story, the present you gave to your boy for Chinese New Year? I thought this was so thoughtful.
Yeah. Yeah. I knew that he would be away for Chinese New Year because my wife wanted to spend the time in her hometown, and I was still busy with work over here. So leading up to that holiday, I wanted to bless him with something, and I created some currencies, and I designed it with AI, of course, and I put his face in the notes. I designed it from say $1 to 1,000 with different actions, different food, different places in the background. And yeah, he still has it. He loves the notes. I put it in the red packets, and now he uses it as a bookmark.
That's beautiful. Well, I think nowadays, like people are always busy, not having a lot of time, but it's definitely something that is more meaningful than just like a few 100 RMB or dollar bills that you put in a red package. That's so meaningful.
Yeah, and yeah, it is personalized, so it's something special for him.
And you did it. I think you told me like we were having a breakfast last Friday, and you were saying like I think you did it from like 2 a.m. till 5 a.m. or so.
Yes, yeah.
Now, as an Asian entrepreneur in Australia, and I just moved to a place in an area where there's tons of Koreans and Chinese and so on. I mean, I'm used to being surrounded by Asians, and I think in Australia there's many, right? But have there been moments where you felt like you had to work twice as hard to be taken half as seriously? And if so, how has that shaped you?
I think my challenge is not so much of my background, but it's my personality. I think I'm more of a reserved person, more of an introverted guy. So when I enter a room with a lot of people, I find it hard to command a presence, to command attention. But when I'm in a small group, one-on-one or something, it's easier to be relatable. And I think when people see who I am one-on-one, I think it's easier to seal the deal.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed our conversation so much last time. Most of the times we always spend like time like in a group or so. We never really had so much time to really like catch up. So I could definitely see why so many people in your network want to work with you. And I think it seems like you also have a very strong and big network. So that is very impressive.
Yeah, I put myself
Good.
out there. Yeah, because I know it's not easy to reach out just one on one. So I have to rely on a network, and I just keep adding value to whoever I meet. And yeah, sometimes it's nerve wracking, but I learned from earlier age just to switch off the emotion and just get out there and add value.
Good. This is a good tip, right? Sometimes we overthink, just switch off the emotions and do it. I love how you said that. If you could go back and whisper one thing to the version of yourself who was just starting out as an entrepreneur, not business advice, but life advice, what would you say?
Life advice. I actually took it from my grandfather, and this is what someone else also told me. So I knew that this is and it's something that he lived by. Um, he said, "The moment I get up, I think about how to make money." It's just
Mm.
simple as that. He wasn't highly educated, but he was successful, very successful as a person, and it's just his drive for opportunities. He would always seek opportunities. He would create the environment that's conducive for making deals. So I would go to a lot of afternoon tea breaks with his brokers or his contractors, and we would just sit around and drink some tea or coffee and eat some bread or something. And yeah, that was just good memories. And I learned that he said, yeah, always be the fastest to pay the bill.
Oh,
A
that's
lot of
such an
people don't think
Asian
of that.
thing, right?
It is true.
Or like in the Middle East, we also have that a lot. I love those stories that you bring in from your family and some of the teachings you got from an early childhood. I know we spoke about some habits of yours, and I was so surprised. I was like, really, Ming? You're doing this? I would not have guessed it. So please share with our global audience in here, what does your own like morning look like? Or it could be different parts of the day, right? Some routines. Is there
Mhm.
something you do every single day that, or a couple of times per week, that most people would find surprising or maybe even a bit strange?
Um, there is something that I started doing probably the last 6 months. It's something that I haven't done before, and that is um, to pay attention to my health better. So I got myself one of those trackers, and it tells me how I'm doing during the day, and I'm tracking the quality of my sleep as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want to be there for my son. I want to have more strength to play with him. Now that he's 6 years old, um, and yeah, I'm tracking my stress levels during the day, and I took a body scan as well and a blood test, and I put it into AI, and I got a custom GPT basically, and each time someone
Mm.
talks to me about my health, I would ask the AI and see how I can apply that into my life. So, for example, someone mentioned, "Hey, there's this uh, method like push, pull, and legs method to gain to build your body." And I put it into my air, and it says, "Oh no, you're too beginner, so you should do something else instead." Yeah, and it recommended some supplements, some food to eat, yeah, and like sauna and things like that. So I am feeling a bit better than I was 6 months ago.
Amazing. So you have more energy to spend it on the weekend, or especially on the weekend, or in general with your son and your wife as well.
Yeah, yeah, I try to protect
So
my weekends.
yeah. So how do you balance like the work and the life, the family part?
I take note of my family schedule as well. My wife, she works She's a private banker, and my son goes to school early morning a lot of times with her, and he will finish school by 3:15, and then he may have some classes after that as well. But I take note of those times, and I try to make myself available during those times. So I will have dinner together with the family, and then I'll read some books for him, play games with him, put him to bed, and after that, when I'm free, then I can do other things. And I find that that I can multitask, whether it's loading the laundry, dishwasher, cleaning the house or whatever, and it's pretty therapeutic to me. It's not an extra thing to do. It's not a chore for me.
I love how you said that. I hope the men out there did hear this as well and got some inspiration. Doing dishes and doing the laundry is therapeutic. Actually, I love doing the laundry. I do feel you. Now, one thing that really surprised me in a way is you started to tell me that you started going to this like gym, spa kind of place. And I think you said like you even go to, was it lymph drainage for like 3 times a day? Sorry, 3 times, that would be something. 3 times a week. How did you start with this kind of habit?
Well, it started from identifying. Well, basically, I try to make a framework for my health as well. So that's the same approach that I do, whether in business or personal life. And I look at the gaps and I just address it. So
Okay.
yeah, same thing with the services I offer as well as AI solutions architect. So the service I provide is not just selling a tool, like a white label version or something, or but I look at how a business moves in a life cycle. First of all, you need to have a brain where the business owner gives the commands, and that's where it's usually your most valuable time is. Your 1 hour can be worth 10,000 there. When you plan for the business. So AI can help with, say, you can have AI CEOs, AI COOs in that thinking process. Then next thing, every business will always need marketing brain. Social media, a creative, basically to put your business out there. So it could be to generate different posts, social media posts, and measure that, and keep generating the ones that gives the best ROI. And then, of course, you'll need the sales, what do you call it, the system as well, that is automated, so you don't need to make decisions. The more automated it is, the easier for you. And when you seal the deal, you need to deliver. So next one is operations. Like the facilities management that has cleaners to work for him. He needs a system for that. And if it keeps going back to him, then it's not a system. And then he becomes tied up to a job. But in a system, it is supposed to work seamlessly. Okay? And then after that, of course, you need to have analysis. Analysis, basically, you need to know, you get feedback from your company, and to make sure that your company keeps growing. Okay, whether certain areas need more attention or not. And then the back end of it, you also need AI security, because anything can happen. You can get hacked, and things can go wrong. So you do need a bit of compliance there. And on top of that, there's always a community that you can build, and a support as well, AI support. So
thanks for sharing these insights on all these different like agents or AI employees that you are also using, and people can get direct access to these ones through you, which leads me to the next question. So you help companies automate so they don't need more staff. What
Yes.
else have you personally automated in your own life? And what have you deliberately chosen not to automate and why?
What else have I automated? Well, a lot of it, I use it as a, you know, I choose not to automate. For example, the things I do with my family, a lot sometimes it's precious, like
Mhm.
going to playgrounds, going
Yeah.
shopping. I can choose to um, automate the shopping, but I choose to deliberately choose so that I can pick the best items, and a lot of times it's the healthier ones, the one that gives the most benefit or more delicious. Yeah. Um,
Speaking of delicious, so Melbourne apparently is famous for its food, coffee culture, and its lifestyle. I've not been yet. I'm finally gonna come on June 3rd. What does a Ming Saturday actually look like when there are no systems to architect and no clients to serve?
So I go by ear, usually because I'm not the one planning the day. My wife will be. She's the one that decides where to go, what to do. But when she doesn't have anything planned, then I will use AI to help me to plan. So yeah, I have
Mm.
a list of restaurants that I like to go to, and they're all on my um, Google Maps. So I know the good restaurants in the area, even the playgrounds, the some activities as well in the area. So it's easy for me to decide where to go.
I know who to ask when I'm coming to Melbourne.
Definitely.
About the best recommendations. So we're slowly coming to an end, but I have a few last questions. If
Yeah.
you had to live for one full year completely off grid, no
Mhm.
internet, no AI, no tools, what would you do? And do you think you'd come back a better or worse architect?
If I don't have access to any systems and I'm off the grid, hopefully I have access to some land. And what I've always wanted to do is to set up an orphanage, and maybe in Bali or something. And it doesn't have to be high tech. But what I want to do is to equip the kids with skills, with like life skills on, for example, how to plant, how to create
Mm.
furniture, and hopefully when they grow up, they can use that for their livelihood. And of course, um, the proceeds also can help to expand the influence for the orphanage as well.
Yeah. Actually, we have a question here in the chat. Let me show this one by Mark. May I ask what the first systems a beginner should build are?
Okay, if you're a beginner, of course, you need to learn how to use large language models like maybe ChatGPT or Claude, and from then I would advise, if you're a business owner, learn how to use the customer relationship managers, like for example, Go High Level or ClickFunnels or something, that will also help to automate your social medias. And I think that will at least get you some clients. And when you start earning money, you can invest in other systems.
Thank you for sharing. Thanks for the great question, Mark. Appreciate you.
Yeah,
Okay, so
invite.
I know you have an amazing trip coming up to New York. Tell us
Yeah.
about that business trip.
Oh, that actually is an excuse to meet up with my friend who is already in New York. Um,
Ah, I see.
yeah, it's
I won't
um,
tell your wife.
she knows. I told her that I need to be in that trip. Yeah, but the business makes it tax deductible, so it helps. Yeah, but yeah, the main purpose is to meet him because we've been good friends for more than 20 years, more than half my life, and now he's got two kids, and he's going back to studies over there, and I would really love to help him in his studies as well. And I will be meeting with a group of entrepreneurs, billionaires, millionaires, and hopefully I can add value to them as well. And of course,
Yeah.
in New York, maybe buy something for my wife too.
Beautiful. I always find it so interesting, and maybe this is that Asian touch or so, the culture on how you're so focused on relationships, right? Keeping up old friendships and nurturing relationships, giving value. And I remember when we met up last week, you were also telling me how even for these new systems you're implementing for clients, you actually don't have to do like any cold outreach, cold calling. You basically just need to go back to your network, to your relationships, because many people value you and they do trust you.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, it's always about the lowest hanging fruits. Um, I haven't exhausted that. There's still hundreds of people that I can help before even having to do any marketing. And but then I've been fortunate enough as well to have this inner circle where they always so into me as well. So it's a two-way street. And yeah, and
Absolutely.
yeah, I thought that it's more blessed to give than to receive, but then I also need to learn how to receive.
Oh yeah, I'm on the same kind of journey as well. So yeah, I'm also part of this like JD Fox community. I'm part of this business club here in Sydney, and just being part of like an inner circle of other successful business owners can really make a difference. If you're a good person with good values and basically not just like taking, but yeah, as you said, it starts with giving value. I think Mark also really appreciated your comment. That's a good question. He was commenting earlier. Personally, I would focus on developing practical, real life survival skills. Okay, so maybe the last question. Business meets life. You know, that's the name of the podcast. So let me finish there. What does success actually feel like for you on a personal level right now? I mean, you are so humble, right? But you are extremely successful, but so humble. Not the metrics in terms of success, not the revenue. What's the moment in your week where you think, yes, this is exactly why I do what I do?
For me, I think a good life is a life where I'm contented every day, and there's always something for me to be thankful for. So, and I think I am in that space, and that's why maybe even 15, 20 years ago, I did feel like, oh, maybe I can retire, at that time. But yeah, then again, I think about what I can achieve with what I've learned so far, and I can give back as well. And yeah, it just compounds.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. I love it. Who should reach out to you, Ming? We're going to share your website and all of your social media details. I know you're not so active on social media, but who should reach out to you, connect with you?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, any business owners that thinks that they want to improve their systems, whether they have any issues or gaps in their workflow, yeah, you can reach me on Xtron.ai. My company is Xtron, AXTRON, and we can always have a chat.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing. We got one more question here, very similar to the one I would have ended. Let me actually point this one out. What advice or message can you give to the younger generation?
It is something that I've been weighing on as well, because the younger generation, say my son, when he graduates, he may not be able to work, right? Because AI computers would have done everything. So to him, his education is just an educational experience, but when it comes to growing your wealth in that kind of scenario, I would say just add value, do the things that will help other people, because end of the day, the AI at that time, the computers will have money, and also people will have money. So you need to work for both the computers and also for people. And but the more you learn how to manage that, the more you'll be more valuable in that society.
Beautiful. Sharing is caring.
Yeah, just
Sorry,
get started. If you're on the sidelines and thinking of what whether you should do this or not, yeah, just get started, because we are young. You can fail. Just don't be afraid to fail.
Don't be afraid to fail. What a beautiful closing phrase. Everybody in here, if you enjoyed today's session with Ming, please start following him. Send this episode to your friends, your colleagues, anybody who needs to hear or maybe connect with Ming, where Ming can add some values through AI, automations, building systems, whatever is needed. Please subscribe to my YouTube as well, Business Meets Life, Janine Jakob. Ming, thank you so much for being on this podcast with us. Wish you all the best. Can't wait to see you again, but it might take, hopefully on June 3rd in Melbourne.
Yeah, definitely.
Are you going to be in town?
Yes, I will.
Amazing. Good. Happy weekend to you, Ming, and keep on being awesome. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.